Hey guys, it's TMF Style. I'm Jose Zuniga, and for this week's video, we're going to be discussing 3 ways you can wear your denim. There are a lot of variations between these 3 ways, which I'm going to be talking about rolled, I'm going to be talking about hemmed, and I'm going to be talking about stacked. Those are basically the 3 ways you can wear denim. There are variations, especially with the rolled. Some people like to call it a cuff if it's only one fold. Some people call it a casual roll when it's very wrinkly or messy. So there's variations within that, but I'm not going to go into all that. I'm just going to talk about rolled, I'm going to talk about hem, and I'm going to talk about stacked. And then at the end, I'm basically going to talk a little bit about each, the benefits, and then at the end, which one is my personal favorite. So let's talk about rolled. Now, rolled is probably, of the 3, the most aggressive, or better say bold one. It adds a really nice contrast at the end of your jeans. It does have functionality. It almost acts as an anchor, pulling your pants down. And it also makes your pants not all wrinkled up if that's something you don't like. This is something a lot of men don't like, when their pants bunch up on the bottom. So rolling your trousers is a cheap, quick, obviously an easy way, because you don't have to take it to the tailor to fix this problem. And then on top of that, some people find this to be a bonus to their aesthetics. They actually want this roll, this contrast on their jeans. So this is a very good option for those type of men. Back in the day, jeans basically came in a one-size-fits-all when it came to length. So most men just rolled them up, and that's where we get the idea of it. So there's this idea of functionality behind it and almost ruggedness. So that's the roll. Now let's move on to the hem. The hem is probably the most refined one. This is something that actually a lot of men don't know, that you can actually tailor denim. I have a whole video on this of just tailoring denim and showing you how to do it. But you can actually tailor denim. It's basically the same process as trousers. This is for the guy that's very much a perfectionist, doesn't want the roll and doesn't want the bunching up at the bottom. Instead, he wants a well-tailored garment, which is why I usually coin this the more refined one of the 3 styles. Now finally, we have the staggered pant. Now when I'm talking about staggered, I'm not talking about that whole new trend that's going around with streetwear or what Kanye West is using. I personally think it's ridiculous. But when I talk about stacking, it's a little bit less obnoxious as those jeans that you're seeing, men like him wear. When I'm talking about stacking, it's a lot less. Now, unlike trousers, stacking your jeans is actually appropriate, or not so appropriate, but it's okay. You know how trousers, we're always telling you the last thing you want is to have 3-4 breaks at the bottom? Well, the same rule doesn't apply with jeans, because jeans is a little bit more casual. There are 2 things you want to look out for though. One is you want it to be tailored or tapered at the bottom if you're going to go for some stacking. Reason being is, last thing you want is to have a wide opening and a bunch of fabric at the bottom, because this is just going to swallow up your shoe and you're just going to look like you're wearing oversized garments. A tapered leg is going to ensure that the stacking remains almost uniform or in unison, that it stacks cleanly and gradually down your leg instead of just a bunch of bunching up down at the bottom. A quick tip is, use jeans that have a little bit more tough fabric. This is why you saw 2 of the 3 styles I used were raw denim. The reason I love raw denim so much, and I've been in love with it, is because of this. The fabric that raw denim has is a little bit more sturdy than regular denim. This is untreated denim, so it's very hard. So when you stack, the stacks actually, it's almost, like I mentioned, gradually down your leg instead of just a bunch of bunching up down at the bottom. If you were to do the same with a regular jean, that's exactly what would happen. All the fabric, since it's a little softer, is going to bunch up at the bottom, and it's just going to look bad, and that's when you start getting wear at the bottom of your jeans, and they start tearing up at the heels because they're too long. So which style is my favorite? Well, by far, out of the 3, the rolled one is my favorite. Like I mentioned, this is the more rugged one of the 3, and the reason I like it is because of that. Most of the time I see denim as a casual alternative, and rolled denim kind of suits that idea, and it looks great when it's paired with boots. Out of the 3, like I already mentioned, you have rolled denim, which is basically casual and rugged. Then you have hemmed, a little bit more refined and dressed up. And then finally you have staggered, which I like to coin more smart casual or business casual. So all 3 are appropriate, all 3 do look great. It all really depends what type of guy you are and what you're looking for out of your jeans. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, remember to hit up the like up button. Also remember to subscribe. We put out 3 videos every week. Thank you guys for watching.